What's up, guys? Probably over 9,000 here with yet another video for you guys. I know, I'm starting to get a lot better at making videos in a timely manner. Today's video is going to discuss Nightfall changes, weekly heroic changes, PvP changes, and we may even discuss the patch 2.0 change. We do have a date, guys. We have a date. Kicking off with the Nightfall, guys. So for Nightfall, right, just like we see with every new expansion or DLC in the game where there's a level cap increase, we know that the level cap for Nightfall, or I should say the level requirement for Nightfall, is going to reflect said changes. Well, guess what? Nightfall, level 40 requirement, right? But that's not even the best part, guys. The best part is we have some changes we've never seen before. In regards to burning skulls, right? So you got Void Burn, Arc Burn, Solar Burn. You know, that always kind of dictated which guns we're going to use. Well, now with chest resistances that are coming out, now we're going to see some armor revolving too. So if it's Arc Burn, you may not want to use said chest that you're using. You may want to use a different chest. If it's Solar Burn, you may want to use even a different chest than that. The whole point of this is Bungie wants us to kind of not only have to revolve the guns that we're using, but now let's also change our armor up. You know, let's change the whole loadout, right? And I'm really excited for these kind of changes, guys, because these are the types of changes that kind of just, you know, stop that staleness that we get all too familiar with. You know, it's always like, oh, well, this is my gear. There are many like it, but this one is mine. No, that's not going to be the case anymore, and I'm really excited for that. I really just cannot wait for that. On top of that, we all know with Nightfall, right? Your whole party wipes, okay? Well, guess what? You're going back to orbit. Well, guess what? Not anymore. We are no longer going to get kicked back to orbit, guys, if said the whole party wipes. Which I know it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to everybody at some point, whether it was just a stupid mistake or just not paying attention, or maybe you were changing your loadout, you were changing your gun, you get taken out, you didn't realize your two other fire team members, they're down to, guess what? You're at the end of that said Nightfall, doing it again. Well, guess what? Not anymore. And I'm really excited for that. For that, I mean, that alone is such a huge change from what we've seen for the last year. And on top of that now, so we're not getting kicked back to orbit, right? There's got to be something. Well, guess what? There is. Now when you die in a Nightfall, right, you used to be able to be rezzed right away. No longer the case. We are now looking at 30-second timeout penalties, kind of like what we're used to seeing on normal raids, where you couldn't just get rezzed right away as soon as you die. So now we got to wait 30 seconds if ourselves or our fellow Guardians go down in the said Nightfall, right? So big changes coming to Nightfall. Well, now we're going to move on to weekly heroic, right? So we've seen the changes in Nightfall. Well, there's some big changes coming to the weekly heroic. And for starters, guess what? There's no more dedicated weekly heroic. We're not doing it anymore. So every week after the reset on Tuesday, you would see, okay, well, we have our new Nightfall and we had our new weekly heroic. Well, no longer the case. The dedicated weekly heroic, it's gone. Out. No more, right? So with that being removed, there is now a new creation of the Vanguard Heroic playlist, right? Which is kind of cool now, because now it's going to be revolving. There's no set thing, especially if you have 3 characters, or somebody like myself who's on 2 consoles, 6 characters. Nothing's worse than doing the same thing over and over and over, right? Well, now, instead of it being a dedicated one, you have the playlist, and this is what they're also doing, right? You're going to get legendary marks that we're all aware of now, right? Well, legendary marks are now going to be per account as opposed to per guardian, right? So what does this mean, right? You have a hunter, you have a titan, you have a warlock, right? You had to do the Nightfall on each character, and then you had to do the weekly heroic on each character. Well, guess what? That is no longer the case for the weekly heroic. Now you can do it all on the same character. Well, how do I do 3, right? Well, this is how they're going to play it out, right? So now you will get bonus legendary marks from the playlist, right? But these will be account level, like I said. But what they'll do is you will get these bonus legendary marks on the first 3 strikes that you complete. You'll be able to just, you know, get on your hunter or your titan or your warlock, whatever character you enjoy playing on. Do the first 3, complete them. Guess what? You got your bonus marks. You can use them however you want. To me, that alone is just awesome to me. And then on top of that, right, what we're also going to now see is that also has a level 40 requirement. But there's no cap, guys, on the legendary marks. Ooh, gold chest. There's There's no more weekly cap on the legendary marks. But if you do want to run it on each character, you will be guaranteed a legendary engram. You will be guaranteed, guys, guaranteed a legendary engram drop for each character on their first clear of the playlist. So that's cool. No more going out and doing weekly heroics and not getting anything from it. You are now guaranteed on each character for the first time a legendary. Huge changes to PvE. Well, what about PvP, right? So there's a lot. I'm fortunate enough to where I enjoy both sides of the fence, right? PvE and PvP. But guess what, guys? Those of you who are strictly PvP and kind of feel left in the dark, no longer with the Taken King, right? So now there's the introduction of a PvP weekly ritual, right? So you have your Nightfalls, you have your weekly heroics for PvE. Well, guess what? PvP's getting something else. So now with PvP, right, once you've completed your intro chain to Lord Shaxx, right, well, guess what? You will now have access to weekly PvP quests, guys. Weekly PvP quests as well. And you will get those from Lord Shaxx as well as the PvP Quartermaster, right? Each week, Lord Shaxx will have a bounty called the True Meaning of War. And when you complete this said bounty, to do all the, let's say, maybe there's multiple quests, we don't know yet. But once the bounty is complete, each Guardian will earn Nightfall tier rewards, guys. That means if you don't care for PvE, or you're just a PvP god, whatever the case may be, you too now will be rewarded. Maybe exotics, maybe legendaries. Hell, maybe you'll get 12 Ascendant shards for completing the bounty. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Who knows what they're gonna give out? But either way, guys, something completely new to what we haven't seen before. I'm really excited for that. That is a huge change that we were not seeing. Now also going now to the dailies, right? So we've covered the weeklies, the resets. Well, what about dailies, right? Well, Bungie's kind of looked at it and they've seen it like it's kind of like a grind, right? It's a chore to get it done. You just want to get them done, maybe for some bounties. Maybe you're just getting them done just for no reason at all, other than the fact that it's like, you know, I could use the engram or whatever, right? Well, guess what? The rewards have now been increased, and it's account-based completion, guys. So you no longer have to do it on every character. You can do it on one character. You could do it on your Hunter. You could do it on your Warlock. You could do it on your Titan. It doesn't matter. The choice is yours, as Captain Planet would say. Huge change there. Alright, guys, and now the final part. Patch 2.0. Like I said, we have a date, and the date is September 8th. 1 week before the Taken King comes out, guys, Patch 2.0 is coming. But I hope you guys are ready, and what I mean by that is, hopefully you're ready in the sense of space. So for the Xbox One, or the PS4, guys, we need 18 gigs. 18 gigs of space available on our hard drives. That is friggin' huge. That is so huge for one patch. I'm excited to see what this patch has. 18 gigs for one patch. For 360, guys, we need 10 gigs of space available. And for PS3, guys, you need 20 gigs. For some reason, it is 20 gigs on the PS3. And then once installed, you will need around 10 gigs of space available. What that exactly means, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's combined a 30 gig space that's needed, or maybe it's 20 and then some frees up after the download. I'm not sure, but that's what they're saying. And the only real solution if you don't have that space is right now, there are two options available. You either expand your disk space on your PS3 or your Xbox 360, or you have to now upgrade to the current gen consoles. In a way, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, well, that's not fair. I've been playing on this since day one. Why can't it's kind of the course. You got to eventually give in to the current console, and I think Bungie's kind of realizing this, guys. They're kind of like, look, we've been catering. It's been a year. It's time to now either adapt or be extinct at this point. And in a way, I'm kind of glad for it. It's gonna, in the long run, guys, it's gonna help us so much more. It's gonna allow us to have content that we want to have, changes we want to have and see, and those changes, those contents, they require space. And in current times, space is a lot more than what it was, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So in that sense, guys, that's it. Until the next video, guys, thank you so much. I'm probably over 9,000. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Please rate, like, and subscribe to my YouTube, as well as check me out on Twitch, where I stream daily more Destiny content, both PvP and PvE. And I will see you Guardians later. Thanks again, guys. Take care.